Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Battle stations, battle stations, battle stations. The New World Order is entering its final phase of initiating complete tyrannical world government. The United States has already completely fallen to foreign offshore banks to sucker the public into going along with the agenda that George Bush helped complete. They have brought in a messianic savior complex, the likes of which we haven't seen from Adolf, Alois Hitler, and Joseph Stalin and Mao Zedong. Battle stations, battle stations, battle stations. Worldwide mayday. The United States is in the throes of going into a messianic dictatorship. All the groundwork has been laid, the FEMA camps, the troops on the streets, the emergency relocation centers, the 26,000 preachers trained to tell their flocks to submit to government, media everywhere, preachers, leaders, corporate leaders are saying submit to Obama, do whatever he says, pray for him, get behind him. Follow all of his orders. He will save you. He will fix America. Notice, right as he comes into office, they have the crisis, the deepening recession and the depression, which he helped organize, which his controllers, of course, engineered. And now the people are begging and hoping, and the mainstream media that always lies and betrays is telling them, do whatever he says. Follow his orders. Submit to him, and everything will be all right. Over 1 million people, about half the number they originally had thought, are in Washington, D.C. 47,000 troops and police, including regular military, are searching people all over on street corners at military machine gun point. Luke Rudowski is down there on the mall, and he's going to be joining us coming up in about 10 minutes. From the ground, he is reporting checkpoints, searching men, women, children, everyone being indoctrinated, everyone being conditioned, and going through this ceremony of worshiping the new dictator, worshiping the new leader, worshiping the new front man. And yes, it's a dictatorship under the executive of Bush. Now the baton being handed, the royal signet ring, the royal signet being passed to Barack Hussein Obama. The Congress is now under War Powers Act. The Congress is now titular under the John Warren Defense Authorization Act. The states are now titular, are now ceremonial. The National Guard is being abolished and fully federalized. They're announcing compulsory, forced 18 to 24 military draft. They're also suckering in a giant youth brigade, as well as many other corps, the Environment Corps and others, who will be volunteers outside of government, but directed by usaservice.org, non-governmental, nexusing in with government power, the classic communist/fascist attack profile on every key point. We have the classic forms of tyranny openly being built, and now the platform has been constructed. They're bringing in the messianic leader, decades of black ops conditioning and preparation for total open federal domination, with the feds only being a regional governorship of the new world government set up openly and run by the private banks. You will pay all of your taxes and carbon taxes to them. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. We are now officially in the world order. This is the new world order. All they have to do now is fully bankrupt the economy, but sell the public on going along with it and going along with the next phase. That's why all the pundits in unison, every channel, Fox, CNN, ABC, MSNBC, CNBC, every newspaper, every controlled talk show host, NPR, all saying in unison, the people must empower Obama. The people must do whatever he says. The people must go along with this or they will be destroyed. This is full unification. They've got to have the people stand down and be suckered into believing Obama wants to save them and help them and that he's their daddy just long enough to openly set up the new world central bank that Newsweek and the Financial Times of London are calling for. Once that's in place, they can then stage terror attacks, have controlled bioweapons releases, attack Iran, and go into the next hell phase, which will be the extermination of tens of millions of Americans in death camps.
He's the T-Rex of political talk. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
Battle stations in the info war. They're coming for absolute semi-automatic gun bans, openly introduced and announced. They're coming with a total national gun tracking and a nationwide federal ban on private transfer of firearms. That's buying your grandson a .22 rifle when he's 12 years old. They are coming in with total absolute tyranny, massive taxes, listing carbon dioxide as a toxic waste, total amnesty for the illegal aliens. And they're openly saying that in the next year they're probably going to launch a war against Iran. This is it. And they have got a mass cult movement going. The elite are literally saying that Obama is God and our Savior. He is now president. He has now been officially sworn in. He is giving his speech. Congressman Ron will be joining us in T-minus 30 minutes here on air. I will be simulcasting on Russia Today with an interview coming up in the next hour, but while that's being lined up, Mike Rivero will be sitting in from Hawaii while I'm doing that interview, and then if we're able to, I will then simulcast part of that or all of that on air. We have Luke Rudowski joining us in 5 minutes. In fact, John, go ahead and get him on the line. He is on the ground in D.C. after the new Fuhrer has been sworn in and is saying he will use all the dictatorial powers amassed by the executive branch. Meet the new boss, same as the old boss. And what's so sad here is we see Republicans, after Bush with the torture and the secret arrest and the attack on the Bill of Rights with the Patriot Act now being used against U.S. citizens in non-terror-related cases by tens of thousands every year, as reported by the Associated Press, conservatives committed themselves to Bush despite the fact that he tripled the size of the federal government, despite the fact he lied about every campaign promise, and he lobbied for the assault weapons ban but failed. The assault weapons ban renewal. But because they invested in him psychologically, they couldn't admit they were wrong and conned, and so they would deny the North American Union, they would deny the million-plus dead Iraqis in the war, they signed on to evil. And now you've got more than 100 million Americans that voted for Barack Obama, and they saw the 2 elections stolen by Bush. They saw the Supreme Court appoint Bush, and they got fooled, just like conservatives get fooled when Bill Clinton left office into supporting Bush no matter what he did. Now they are totally psychologically signed on to whatever he says with zombie-like looks of rapture on their faces, having no idea that this guy is going to completely betray them and has already betrayed them on every single front. And the Barack Obama threat is much greater than I even had originally thought. I have never, in any time in history, studying history, seen this level of concerted, unified worship by the media to prepare the public to literally make this guy a dictator, because the executive is already a dictatorship over the Congress. They have announced this tyrannical, unlawful power.